Hello class, Mr. Garino here. In the last video we added sounds to our game. Now I wanted to be able to do a little adjustment to those sounds. So I'm going to open up my actions layer. And we did with the radioactive sound in my game. I added the sound channel so that I could stop the song when the winning screen song, Spider-Man, and the losing screen song, SpongeBob, were played. But now I also want to do something else. Sometimes, maybe mine a little bit, maybe yours more, you could have one song playing that's very loud and the next song come on that's very soft. And so you might want to adjust the volume of your audio files inside your song. And the way to adjust the volume is we have to add something else to our code, which is a thing called the sound transform. So we're going to set up a new variable for my radioactive song. And just like I said, my channel PS for play song, I'm going to put my, and this is just a variable, you can call it anything you want, but my transform PS kind of makes sense. And then you're going to say is equal to a new sound transform. And you'll notice that sound transform has a capital S and a capital T. Open, close your parentheses and use a semicolon. Notice as soon as I put in the parentheses over here, up here it imported the sound transform class. And then we need two other pieces of code below the play. So after we say to play it, we can go in and say my transform play song dot volume, VOLUME, volume is equal to, and not adjusting the volume would be the number 1. So that's just the standard volume. So let's leave it at that for now. And then the next piece of code would be my channel play song dot. Now this is where it's very tricky. Sound transform here has a lowercase s because up above we're saying new sound transform. It's a new instance of that class. But over here we're actually saying use the sound transform. So I find that very confusing. In fact, in a previous video I forgot to use the lowercase s, and then I had to go back and correct it. So my channel ps dot sound transform is equal to my transform ps with the semicolon. So now I should be able to adjust the volume of my radioactive song. So let me close this out, and should have did this even before I got started. Hopefully you guys remember, but we all sometimes forget. But before I play it, I'm going to give it a new name. And since I know now I'm adjusting my volume, I'm going to call it Mr. G Shooter Game Audio Volume. And save that in the folder where I've saved everything else. And then now if I play it, no song until I click start. Now to me, I think that's a little loud. So I'm going to go back and adjust the volume. So instead of 1, let's make it really low. Let's make it 0.1. Sometimes putting the 0 in front helps people to see that it's a decimal. So let's close this out and resave it and then play it. So you can see that's a whole lot lower in volume. In fact, let me do that again and see. I think you can tell that, in my opinion, the gunshots are very loud compared to the song. So I'm going to go back and change this from 0.1 to 0.3. Something else I did in my game If you notice in previous games, I have a little trouble with monsters coming out too fast. And I was changing this number here to 2000 and then putting it back to 1000. I've decided to keep it at 2000. The game definitely works better with it at 2000. So let me go and play this again. I'm waking up. Okay, so I kind of like that. I think that's pretty good. The song and the gunshot sound about right. If you wanted to, so let me resave this. If I go back into my actions, if my Spider-Man song or my SpongeBob song was either too low or too loud, because this number over here, 0.3, you can make it above 1 to increase volume instead of decrease volume. So you can adjust all the sounds. The one sound I'm not going to be able to adjust because I'm not using the sound transform is the gunshot, the laser sound. So that's my bass sound. I try and adjust all my volumes, the volumes of my other 3 audio files, to match or be whatever volume I want in comparison to this one. So this one I don't adjust, the other 3 I do. So I'm able to adjust the song, the play song. To adjust the winning song, right here where I have this piece of code would stay. This piece of code would stay, but I need another piece of code here, which I'm going to say variable my transform. And if you want, because you know how I don't like to type, I'm going to copy this and paste it over here. And instead of play song, it's going to be win song. And then go below SpongeBob, paste it in, and instead of play song, it's going to be lose song. And then all we have to do is put in these 2 pieces of code underneath where we're playing it. So we have our first 3, the sound channel, the sound transform. So the sound channel, the sound transform. Down inside our increase score and decrease energy functions, we played the song. But now we just have to add these 2 pieces of code after both plays to get to be able to adjust the volume. So I'm going to copy that and scroll down to increase score, and where it says play, hit enter, paste that in. And if you ever get this happening where it's over to the left, if I never told you this, you can hit tab, but this button over here says auto format. And as long as your code doesn't have any errors, it'll format things with the proper indentation to make it look good. So over here I'm going to change play song to win song, and over here I have to change it again, win song, and over here I have to change it again. So copy and paste saves you a lot of typing. Don't forget to change the things you need to change. And then over here I'll hit enter, paste it in again, use my auto format. Over here we're going to say lose song, so just change the P to an L, change the P to an L, change the P to an L. Hopefully I didn't miss anything, but I think I have everything. Let's put these back to 1 so that they're unchanged as far as adjusting the volume. Let's close this out. Of course, resave it and then play it. I'm waking up.
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain.
Okay, now to me I think SpongeBob's a little loud. So I'm going to go in here and change this from 1 to 0.5. And play it again. I'm waking up.
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain.
I think that sounds about good. Let's play it again and try and win. If I can. I'm waking up. And there's Spider-Man, but that also sounds a little loud. Let's really adjust it just so you can see that it really does adjust. So we'll make it 0.1.
I'm waking up to
and you can see there it was a whole lot, the volume was a whole lot down on that. So that's the way you adjust the volume of all your audio files. Please incorporate that into your game so that you don't have any one audio file simply over blasting, so that when you present this to your class, they're all about the same volume. Obviously, they have to be perfectly the same volume. That's kind of preference as well. But now you have the ability to adjust it to your preference. Thank you.